right, we know how the politicians felt about President Obama's State of the Union address last night. What about the American people? Here with us to check her dials from both sides of the aisle, Maslansky and Partners of Maslansky and Partners is Lee Carter. Lee, welcome back.
Thank you.
You picked out some tape, and we're going to go through these tape and find out what the people thought of it. The first one that we are going to take a look at is the personal real life story that we have a real news on afterwards. But let's listen.
7 years ago, Rebecca and Ben Erler of Minneapolis were newlyweds. She waited tables, he worked construction. Their first child, Jack, was on the way.
It was the worst up close and personal story. It went nowhere.
It went nowhere.
Where do the people think? What do the dials tell you?
Well, we gave this one a C- overall because you could see the dials just dipped and then they sort of skated along. You can almost feel the collective eye roll when that was happening on both sides of the aisle. Basically, people are tired of these stories. It's like State of the Union candy. You throw somebody in the audience, tell a story about them, and it's supposed to make you seem personal. It just didn't. It didn't resonate. It
didn't. And when we find out later, she was she worked for the Democratic Convention, worked for Obama's campaign, and he's actually said the story before in Minnesota. Yeah. All right, let's talk about the second tape. Let's hear this portion of the hour speech.
Will we allow ourselves to be sorted into factions and turned against one another? Or will we recapture the sense of common purpose that has always propelled America forward?
Well, Democrats began to like it, and it pretty much stayed in the middle.
You know, you saw it was like a ski slope in there. And what's interesting about this, people were like, what is going on with this style thing? Because how could you not like what he's saying here? Well, the problem is when you respond to a message, it's not just whether or not you like it, it's whether or not you believe it. So did Republicans believe that there was any chance that he's really going to work together and find common ground? No evidence that he's going to do that. So overall, just to see.
Yeah. Executive order on immigration gave us an idea of where we were heading with that. All right, now let's talk about the zinger, the ad-lib moment of the night. Let's listen.
I have no more campaigns to run. My only agenda, I know because I won both of them.
So what do you think of that? Would you give it what grade?
A+ Dems, F for the Republicans. Did you see that? I mean, a total climb and then dip. It was off the charts. It was funny in some ways. I mean, it showed a human side, but the problem was it was just arrogant, and people just, they sort of tuned out at that point, the Republicans for sure.
But it was real. I mean, for him personally, he was getting some sarcastic applause about no more campaigns to run. So he answered. It averaged out to a B+ if you're grading it home. All right, Lee, thanks so much.